Y'all know what time of the week it is, man. I'm joined, as always, my brother, 5'6", 195 pounds. Will is in the building. How we feeling today?
Short.
My 6'190" is kind of a crazy combo. Man,
Husky fella.
that's a fact. Hey, man, look. So we're gonna talk basketball. It's obviously in the flow of basketball season, but we gotta start as we do every week. Bears Ravens, the hard foul bowl from last week. Tony gave me mad shit all week saying I jinxed them because I placed a bet, and he said I screwed the Ravens over, did all this stuff. I think I'm a good friend.
To
Ravens win the
Tony,
game.
because I'm
Hey,
starting to think you jinxed
I
me.
know.
I think the jinx has been transferred to me. So shout out to Tony.
Shout out to Tony. What was your takeaway from that game? Watching Caleb, the Bears as a whole, like what was that experience like? You take away from that game?
I think just inconsistent offense. Honestly, like I don't think the running game got going like it has been the last 2 weeks. And of course, Caleb has been just pretty inconsistent like throughout the season. It's like you still see flashes here and there of what everybody is expecting or waiting on him to be, but it's just not coming through consistently, like week after week.
Do you feel as far as like what the expectation versus again the expectation versus reality? This is kind of my question to Bears fans, and would be my question to Bears fans in general. How big of a gap does that feel right now, as far as like the expectation when you drafted him overall versus the reality where he sits 7 games into the second season? How big is that gap in your opinion? Like, is it massive? Like, he's really underplaying, or do you feel like just a little bit? He's almost there. How does it feel watching it?
I mean, I think the general consensus would be that it's massive. But I think some people, I feel like I've always kind of said it would be a process. Especially when you talk about like rebuilding the whole offense, learning an entirely new offense with a new head coach coming in. He on his what third or fourth offense coordinator, and he in his second year. Uh, so I mean, all of those things taken into consideration, I think the general consensus will be that he's far away. I think, um, like for me, I want to see you be consistently good. Not saying you need to be great. Not saying I need to see you be consistently great, but I want to see you be consistently good.
Nah, that's valid. That's valid. NBA's been back for a week. It's been a lot of great performances, but the clear headliner of the NBA, and I feel bad for Chicago because I think y'all are going to lose one of the true like valued NBA records, and that's I think D Rose is going to lose his youngest MVP ever, because there is a 7'4" alien just doing all kinds of wild shit. We talked about leading into the season, we didn't really want to rank Wemby because we kept kind of saying the same thing of like, you want to see him on the court, you want to see him healthy, like see if it actually is going to look like him. And I don't want to be hyperbolic, but about a week in, I'm like, you can argue, all right, you can't rank him too high because of accolades, but you just look at him on the basketball court and you like, he is 7'4" doing step back threes after blocking like 3 shots on one possession. How like just this first week of watching Wemby, which to Will's credit, everyone's talking about Hakeem teaching him stuff. Everyone's talking about he's learning stuff from Jamal Crawford. Will said Wemby hoops like a younger him. So, as an admirer of somebody who hoops like a younger you, how impressive has Wemby been just a week into the season?
I mean, he doing his numbers. Like it's weird. Like I don't know. I think I'm in a weird space when it comes to Wemby because I do like I like Wemby like as far as the things that I've seen so far. But then I also look and I'm like he's 7'4", 7'5". He should be dominating the way that he's dominating. Um,
We just
and I
need him
and
to
I
do something.
yeah, I
We
mean,
just
and
need
I
to see
think
it.
yeah, but I think that's so I think the skill set at that size, and I do feel like we've seen it like maybe not all come together. Like of course, somebody like Katie who we all we say Katie is 7 feet tall and he got the skill set that he has. And then you see somebody like who has not had the success in the league, but somebody like a Bowl who we've seen with flashes of like being able to do maybe some Wimby like things, maybe not, of course, not at the level of Wimby, and not. as consistent as we've seen Wemby to do it. So, and I think Bol is like 7-3. So I think Wemby is kind of what it looks like when it all comes together. So it's like, I think part of me is like, man, it's cool to see him be able to do it and bring it all together. But then part of me is also like, you 7-5, you should be dominating the league. And I think that's where it's like I can kind of acknowledge it and say, oh yeah, like maybe I feel like he's gonna win MVP, maybe I feel like he's gonna win Defensive Player of the Year, but it's hard for me to get on like maybe the same type of bandwagon that everybody else is just because I'm like at 7-5 with the evolution of the game, like this is what you should be doing, like because and I know in the past when we see 7-footers, we look back, even if you think about a Jokic who ain't as athletic, who ain't, he's skilled in his own way, but he's not doing what Wemby's doing. Or even like the old centers back in the day, maybe they could stretch out to the three, but they're not shooting it off the dribble. They're not bringing the ball up the court. So I think Wemby is what you get for sure when you see him put it all together. But then it's like I think I always go back to you 7-5. This is what you should be doing. And of course we've seen 7-4 players, 7-3 players, players of all different heights kind of come in and not be able to do what Wemby is doing. So it's not like it's just common either.
No, and I think it's definitely like stylistic because if let's say, for example, right, like I brought up Yao, and Yao before his body failed him because he's obviously 7'6", and most of these guys are this big, their body fails them. Yao wasn't overly surprising because he was a traditional back to the basket guy, and it was like, okay, you are supposed to dominate because you're just flat out bigger than everybody, and you being that big backing down to people, that makes sense. Wemby, it is the like block a shot, do a Jamal Crawford type of crossover, bringing the ball up court, hitting a step back. It's like, all right, we are doing a lot for that size, that frame. Now, I do think people will pick up on it. Like, I do think there's a little bit of even other players on the court. Like, there was some audio clips when he played the Raptors, and they were just kind of sitting there like, damn, he really does move like this. When you're 7, the reason why tall guys don't dribble like this is because the ball is just literally more exposed. And I think people are going to start playing tighter on him. I do think we're going to get less and less of these once-in-a-lifetime highlights. But as people are seeing him, it's like you are watching a one-of-a-kind human being at the moment. But I agree with you. I think we're going to see, as wild as it is, we are going to see more Wemblys. Like, France has another kid who's 18, and he is 7'2", and he does the same kind of shit. So I'm like, we're going to see more of that. Moving on to another guy who I'm about one good week of Giannis away. And Giannis is my man. Again, one of the oldest arguments we had on here was Giannis versus Embiid. You have been on Giannis as the best player the last year and a half as everybody has kind of transitioned to Jokic. Giannis does this for about another week. I might be rolling with you. And again, Wemby is like the new flavor. Everyone's excited to see him. Giannis has been the best player in the league through a week because that Bucks team is not good. Like, I might pick him to go far in the playoffs again solely off the fact that Giannis is a monster. And I'm like, I see basically another 7-footer who can handle the ball. It's either him or Wemby is the best defensive player in the sport, and Giannis just looks unstoppable. Like, your reaction to Giannis' first week of the season, just bullying the fuck out of him.
Giannis looking like Giannis. He looking like the best player in the league. Like, that's, I mean, that's just kind of where I'm at with it. And I think, like, of course, even with Wemby, like, and I won't say I've seen, like, every Spurs game, like, so far this season, but I think, I feel like Giannis is guarding more on the perimeter than Wemby is. Wemby is more of a rim protector. So, I mean, I think even though somebody like Wemby can, he gonna get a lot of blocks. I mean, he may average the most blocks ever.
He got 9 on my team. My team was
So
like,
I think even if Wemby ends up being like even if Wemby ends up winning Defensive Player of the Year, I think somebody like Giannis is a little bit maybe more versatile defensively as far as guarding the perimeter and protecting the rim. Yeah, so I mean, I got Giannis as the best player in the league, man. He played both sides of the ball. Shout out to Nicola.
No, that's a fact. Do you think, and so So I think Giannis was, and I'm curious where you stand on this. So Giannis, when he first started to become Giannis, right? Like people realize, like, okay, he can get you 20 plus points, he can get you 10 plus rebounds in defense. The immediate conversation, because we're still kind of adjusting to these superhumans who are this close to 7 feet who can handle the ball. It was, oh, he's got to get a jump shot. And Giannis has just decided, no, I don't. Because it's very Shaq-like, where if y'all not going to stop me from dunking this ball every single time, I don't care what the analytics say about being more efficient or this kind of shot. The most efficient shot in the world is me putting my hand and the ball through the fucking basket. Do you think that is did Giannis make the right career move by just deciding, I'm just doubling down on what I do great? Or do you think there is like a hypothetical where he does develop somewhat of a jump shot?
I mean, I think he still may develop one. He may just develop it a little later into his career, which, I mean, it ain't no telling. What is Giannis, 30? Yeah. Like, I mean, we starting to see, stars play into their late 30s. So, I mean, at some point, he may develop a mid-range jumper or a spot-up three, maybe around 32, 33, 34, like, as some of that athleticism and the ability to kind of bull rush people out of the way. As that starts to diminish, he may start to develop some type of jump shot. But, yeah, I mean, because it ain't no telling how long he could play. I mean, how old is KD? I think, Steph is 37, 38. LeBron is 40.
Steph's 37, KD is 38.
Yeah, what is James Harden in his mid to late 30s, Russell Westbrook. So, I mean, we seeing these stars play later and later. So, it's like, typically back in the day, you may look at somebody like Giannis and be like, oh, man, he's near the end of his career. And it's like he might play another 6, 7, 8 years.
No, that's a fact. I saw one of the Clippers and Warriors played at the time this comes out last night. Steph and Harden are 1 and 2 all-time three-pointers. Steph almost has him by 1,000, and it's probably the best game for James Harden. Which is just more proof of, like, if you any player in the league I'm never going to see again, like I said, I think we're going to see another Wemby. I truly don't feel we're ever going to see another Steph Curry.
No, I think somebody will break the record. But I think it won't look the same. It'll take them more games. The percentages will be less. Like, I don't see anybody doing it the way he did it. At some point, I mean, for sure, at some point, somebody. I mean, it might be somebody like Wemby. Not saying Wemby in particular, but you talk about somebody that's 7'5", that three-pointer might feel like a mid-range jumper to you. So it'll get the record to get broken. I don't think it'll take more games for sure by whoever breaks it. I don't think the percentages will be the same, and it won't be as impactful.
Yeah, I don't think we'll call someone, even if someone breaks his record because sheer number, because I don't think we consider James Harden the second best shooter ever, but he's the second most three-pointers.
But that's because I think, and I don't know his numbers. I don't know how many games it took him to get there off the top of my head. But I'm like, he was a volume guy. Like, he put up a lot.
No, 1,000%. Like, I think Steph's title as the best shooter ever is extremely secure. Like, I don't even the guys who have come in the league that are like, quote unquote, like mini Stephs or play like that. Like, Trae Young is a really good shooter. I don't think anyone thinks he is close to Steph Curry.
Steph was considered the best shooter ever years before he broke that score. I mean, broke that 3-point record. Years before he was in second place, third place, like, he was considered the best shooter ever well before that time.
Started ripping 300 threes a season, and it was like, okay, yeah, we've never seen that before. Like, this is whatever number he ends up at. And we also kind of acknowledge with Steph, like, he probably got that early too, maybe fair or unfairly, because he was injury prone early in his career. So it was like, once we started to see it, it was like, oh yeah, this is it. Like, even if you don't play the longest career, like this guy's the best you've ever seen. Last thing before we get you out, the Bulls are 3-0.
Shout out to my boy Montes.
Is this the year the Bulls get over 500?
Probably not. Probably not, but
are they, I guess, and I'm not sure how many bowl games you got to see so far. Is what do you think is working at least early in the season for them? Probably that hasn't worked in past years. Even if they don't keep it up, like early in the season.
I mean, I think we just got a young competitive team. I think it's a group of guys that don't want to lose. I think we just like it's just other teams that's more talented than we are that may be better coached than we are. So I mean, I don't necessarily know what's working, but I don't know if we can sustain it. um, yeah, so I mean, I think they're going. I for sure think they're gonna be competitive. Like when I just kind of look at our roster, I'm looking at Matas Buzelis, with Tyus Jones. I mean, not Tyus Jones, Trey Jones, Josh Giddey. So I mean, I just think we still like really young. We still pieces away from really being like honestly even a playoff team. I mean, we always kind of hover around that play-in spot, but I think we still like a few pieces away from that. Because I'm looking and it's like Matas Buzelis, Josh Giddey are probably our best two players. And then we still got Nick Vucevic, who almost had a triple double against the Hawks. He had 17, 17, and 9. We should get. Yeah, we got to get rid of him.
Did they just get him a contract extension, or was that just Kobe White?
A couple years ago, that was Kobe White.
Okay, yeah, Kobe White got the extension.
Yeah, I think Vucevic. It's time for him to go.
Nah, that's valid. Pelicans 0-3. I'm still enjoying the NBA season even if my team sucks. That was the other great stat.
Pelicans 0-3.
0-3. Jordan Poole, the smartest player on the planet, hit a three to put the score within 6 with 5 minutes to go against the Celtics. Now, mind you, the Celtics don't got Jason Tatum, don't got Al Horford, don't got like mad rebuilt Celtics. 3-pointer, 5 minutes to go, 6-point game. Niggas lost by 32.
Yeah, that's why I was looking when you just said it. I'm looking at the game. It's 122-90. I said, God damn, wait. I'm like, wait, is this the right game?
I'm like, like I said,
I mean, who y'all best player right now? Is it Jordan Poole?
No bullshit. So Zion's been the best player, but Zion did it, of course, what Zion does. He has 2 great games that he sits out with games because he's injured. Jeremiah Fears, the rookie, has no bullshit been like the best Pelican. And as awful.
Shout out to the rookies this year too. The rookies been hooping.
The rookies is hooping. The 4th best Pelican is DeAndre Jordan, which is says all that.
And he come off the bench, right?
Yep. But Messi got hurt in game 1 because that's also a typical Pelicans thing. Everybody gets hurt. That's just the way it goes. They just shouldn't have brought Willie Green back. Like Michael Malone was right there, but Gail Benson run 2 franchises, don't really know what to do with either. So the Saints Pelicans is a dumpster.
I know Philly is 3-0. They got VJ Edge coming out here looking like the MVP.
That's what I said. We're gonna talk about that a little bit. If they continue this next week, they definitely gonna be. We talk about them next week. They might have replaced their 2 stars. Not in the way they wanted to do it. They still got to eat those contracts, but like. You got your next duo. Like, if PG and Embiid never return to playing just semi-consistent or good, like, you got the future of Philadelphia.
No, you can move. You could probably still move PG. If I'm them, I don't even know if I try to move Embiid. Like, I mean, if you trying to move him for the money, but it's like, I mean, not even just that nobody will take him, but I think when he's healthy, like, if you're not dependent on him heavily, he's not your go-to guy. Like, if you got two guys like this, and Embiid is a third option, a second option, like. And still could kind of dominate in the post, like I said, I get it for the money, he getting paid MVP money, but like if you got a big man that can dominate along with 2 players like this on the perimeter, like I mean they can really cause some people some problems. I think what'll probably mess them up is if when Embiid come back they try to run everything through Embiid again instead of keep continuing to do what's working.
That's also Embiid definitely lost his superstar status because he dropped 4 on opening day and then nobody gave a fuck. And that might even be more damning than like just again we all know it's health because the story of Embiid's career is going to be, damn, what a talent, what a player. We also never got more than two max 3 healthy seasons out of him. So it's like, cool, you talented as hell. So is Greg Oden. And we all know how Greg Oden's career worked out. Don't forget, y'all can check Will out on Group Chat Podcast every Wednesday. Appreciate you coming through, bro. And we're going to catch you next week.
For sure.